Hello everyone, and welcome back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Previously, we went backstage, more to the side of the stage really, and we met Darian Crescent, the secondary guitarist of the Gaviners. And apparently he and Gavin were having a big spat because Gavin seems to be a professional, or a perfectionist rather. And he was calling out Darian for being slightly offbeat at a critical part in the song, and we used the mixing board to prove that it was indeed Darian who was offbeat, but only time will tell how that's actually relevant to this case. Anyway, now we're here with Lamiroir, and I think we have some things to talk to her about, so let's do that. The Republic of Borginia. That's in Northern Europe, right? Well, if they made up a nation, I would think they would make up a continent too, but that's fine. I've never even heard of it. I started out singing in a restaurant. Then a producer called me. Before I knew it, here I am. You don't say. You know, my daddy plays piano in a restaurant. Producers tend to look for talent, Trucy. Lamiroir, you're not from Borginia originally? Were you born here? Well... Oh, is that supposed to be a secret? Image is everything when you're a star. I know a bit about that, of course. Yes, it is something like this. A contract, you might say. I'm also not to speak anything but Borginese in public. Image is important, I guess. She's not all image, though. Her songs are lovely. A real landscape painter in sound. That's a nice thought. A painter in what? She travels the world, turning the sights she sees into music. The sights she sees into music? Well, would she care to explain how her newest song here was about this murder? That's the secrets to your music's beauty, right? You're very perceptive. Oh, I use your songs all the time in my stage act. I don't have to pay royalties for that, do I? Stop while you're ahead, Trucy. This landscape painter in sound, too, is an image. Yet, without it, my songs would not be so widely heard. They even call you the Siren of the Ballad, right? Oh, that is her title. Oh. Okay, so Latouche did say that she was the key. Well, you don't think that's Latouche implicating Lamiroir as the murderer, do you? But no, she was on stage at the time, so... Well, there was that one part where she disappeared from the stage and her cloak was flying through the air, and then she reappeared at the other end of the stadium. You don't think she could have murdered Latouche right then and there, do you? But that would be patently ridiculous. Okay, what is this franchise if not patently ridiculous? I can discount no idea. Yes. In Borginese, Lamiroir means the siren. Wait, so they replaced France with Borginia? The hell? They probably deserve it. I fear that, perhaps, already I am not the siren I once was. Your pianist, Machi, was it? Or Machi? I need to settle on how I'm gonna pronounce his name. I think it's Machi. He's cute, like a porcelain doll. He's very European. I met him while singing in restaurants in Virginia. He is an orphan, yet his playing is exquisite. Soon he came to live with me. It's like a fairy tale almost. I noticed he hardly leaves your side. Yes, well, he is blind. At first I hesitated at dragging him across the world. He doesn't speak English either, does he? He had never left Virginia before we met. I made his presence part of my contract. Machi and I together are Lamiroir. Together, anyways. Together always, rather. Mr. Latouche was my new manager. New? Yes, from 3 months ago. Around when I received Mr. Gavin's invitation to come. I met Mr. Latouche at my office. He was to be my manager and bodyguard. And, as it turned out, my interpreter. Interpreter? Even though you speak English? Yes, but we were to visit more places than just here. We had a concert in Japan scheduled after this one. Though I fear that may have to be cancelled now. Was Mr. Latouche from the Republic of Virginia, too? Well, he was only with me for 3 months. I'm afraid there is much I do not know about him. And now I shall never know. No one will ever even tell me why he has died. I'm sorry. Prosecutor Gavin said we weren't to talk to anyone. Mr. Latouche was a talented man. The siren of the ballad? That phrase was his idea, you know. I'm happy for him that it has become so well known. The siren. That's what he meant. Huh? Apollo? You are the siren, right, Lamiroir? That is the meaning of my name in Borginese, yes. It was the name my producer gave me. But why do you ask? It's very important. I had to know for sure if the siren was you. What do you mean important? I'll tell you. You deserve to know. Siren. It turns out that's a very important word in this case. How? When we found Mr. Latouche, he was still alive. What? I heard him say something. His last words. Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Ask witness. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is siren. He said siren? Really? I was the only one there at the time, but I'm sure that's what he said. Mr. Latouche said that? Ask the witness? And you're the siren, Lamiroir. We just established that Lamiroir refers to the act. It is both this woman here and Machi. For all I know, Latouche could be talking about Machi being the witness, too. Did you see what happened? Lamiroir? Might I ask, are you with the police? Well, no. I'm a defense attorney. An attorney? Yet there have been no arrests, yes? Is that a problem? Does an attorney not work for a client? If you have no client, you should leave the investigation to the police, I think. Ooh. Okay, she is suddenly acting suspicious and guilty as hell. The moment it looks like she might be implicated, iron walls just shooting up. But there's a chance she might be protecting Machi. I think that might be the case. But Lamiroir, I am sorry, but I cannot answer your questions. I'm afraid you lack the authority to ask them. Why? If she witnessed the crime, why won't she tell us? I believe we are through here. I believe so. Well, that's interesting. Let's head out, see if we can't find that mysterious piss wizard. Whoa, who's there now? It's you. You're not a piss wizard. Where were you? Emma! Is something wrong? She looks grumpier than usual. Oh yeah, didn't she have a chat with Gavin? I should be calling him Clavier. You bet something's wrong. The impossible's happened. It's all your fault, you know. Oops, maybe this is about leaving the crime scene. What do you mean by impossible? Well, it's gone. Utterly gone. What's gone? The body, stupid! What else? Yo. I was gonna guess, like, the murder weapon? Like the revolver? But the body? Huh? Mr. Latus's body has disappeared. What? Prosecutor Gavin. From your vacant stare, I gather you've heard the news. I heard Mr. Latus's body has gone missing. Look for yourself. Quite the pickle. Quite the pickle. How can you just stand there? We have to start the There's no need for alarm, Fraulein Detective. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Fräulein. Or... Fräulein? Fräulein. No, Fräulein. Yeah, Fräulein. No, wait, shit. I am really bad at other languages, except for Japanese because I'm an Omega weeboo. All entrances and exits have been sealed. The body will not leave the building. So I suggest we go find ourselves a cadaver. There will be plenty of time to ponder the whys later. Well, you seem pretty sure yourself, Mr. Gavin. Oh, we'll find him. I'm rather enjoying this. How could Mr. Latus's body just disappear? Well, you heard the man. Let's get searching. It was either Machi or the Piss Wizard. Or Darien. Hello. Hey, I don't know if this is exactly the right time, but... Yes, Darien? See, Geeter's gone missing. It was in the dressing room. Geeter, as in guitar? Geeter? Who's Geeter? That's what I call my guitar. You like, man? Your guitar was stolen? This hasn't been a good day for guitars or Geeters. Okay, body first, then guitar. And if someone finds that guitar, please bring it to our dressing room. Geeter's like a missing person, not lost and found, man. Huh. Okay, Emma. Anything to say? Well, this sure is a... what did he call it? A sausage? No, wait, it was a pickle. And if it's your pickle, I told you to stay in the room. Sorry. Not much else I can say. It's alright. Top priority now is finding that body. You can make it up to me later. 10 bags or so of chocolate snackoos should do the trick nicely. Chocolate sausages? Wait, okay, maybe snackoos aren't sausage meats. You should watch your sugar intake, Emma. Jeez. Okay then. What bothers me is that there's no sign of, like, blood smearing. Latouche was a big man. Did someone really pick him up? There should be a body here, but there's not. How could this have happened, and why? Huh. Let's move out. Can I pick it up? Yeah? No. What's the deal? Why? Oh, that's bothering me. The stage. Man, it's 1 a.m. in the morning? Late night. Huh, does something seem different to you, Apollo? Something is definitely different here. Yeah, that pink stage in the middle, it's raised up. Let's check it out. That wasn't there before, was it? That stage there must have been lowered before. That's the tower that Lamiroir and Prosecutor Gavin were singing on. Someone must have raised it. Huh. I don't see a way to control it from here. Apollo, what about that ladder there against the wall? We could use that to take a look up top. Maybe we should get Emma. What are you talking about? We have to see the sort of thing for ourselves. I'm not so good with heights. Stop whining and start climbing. Irk. It didn't look that high from below, really. But when we got to the top, I felt every one of those 20 feet down. Of course, I wasn't thinking about the height anymore. Not after what we found up there. Eek! We found 2 things we were looking for, and 1 thing we never expected to find. Whoa! The body, guitar in hand, and the pianist, Machi. Is this someone's idea of a sick joke? They posed to the body so it looks like he's playing the guitar. What the hell? Whoa. We're going the next day to the Right Anything Agency. Yeah, and not the court, so... maybe we're having another day of investigation right away? Maybe? Wow, that concert last night sure went south in a hurry. No kidding. Why did they arrest Machi? Why? Oh. Wait, what? Really? It looked like he was unconscious. Don't look at me like it's my fault. Machi, the blind pianist. Arrested on suspicion of murdering Romain Latouche. I can't believe such a cute little boy could do something so horrible. I guess they had proof of some kind. What proof could possibly prove that, Mornin? Prosecutor Gavin? What a night, eh? I apologize for being so upset. Mr. Gavin, do you know what's going on? Why did they arrest Machi? Why? Don't look at him like it's his fault either. It was tough for me, too. We performed together that night after all, yet? The powers that be say that, given the circumstances, it could only have been him. What do you mean by the circumstances? Lamiroir was invited from Borginia as an ambassador of goodwill. It is vital that this case be wrapped up swiftly. That's all the powers that be want, really. Well, those are circumstances, all right. But what makes Machi the only possible suspect? Air forehead. You seem to have forgotten that you're talking to the prosecution. The enemy. Ah, right. I think I like this side of Prosecutor Gavin better, actually. I'm not at liberty to discuss the particulars of the case. Especially not to the defense attorney. But technically speaking, has Apollo even been brought on as the attorney for this case? There's been no agreement with any defendant. What? What did you just say? Me? The defense attorney? That's what I came to tell you. He's down the detention center. He wants to request your services. Oh, well, there we go. He? You mean Machi? Machi wants me? This is what we've been waiting for, Apollo. Let's get going. Hold up. I want to look at that portrait once more. Ah, cripes. I didn't... The piss wizard appeared so quickly and disappeared as fast as he came. I never got to look at his brooch. If it's a club, like on the portrait there, then we know that'll be him for sure. Right. Good luck. I'm off to question Lamiroir. Right. Later. I hope I'm up to this. Oh! Ah. Mysterious wizard will have to wait. Well, I just don't get it. I refuse to believe a cute little kid like that could do something so terrible. You said that already. Machi, everything's going to be okay. We're here for you. Hi. Maybe you can tell me about last night? Yeah, this is gonna get nowhere fast. Huh? That was when I realized how tough it must be. A little kid like this, in a country so far from everything he's ever known. Maybe Lamiroir can help. But didn't Prosecutor Gavin say she was with him? Good luck. I'm off to question Lamiroir. Well, what are we going to do? That's, a good question. I can't think of anything we can do but go with this. And hope for the best at the trial tomorrow. God, I swear, that's just literally Dave Strider. Jesus Christ. I can't divorce that character from Dave. Oh my god. Okay. Well, the following day, District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for... How do I say that? Machi Tabai, Your Honor. The pixie of the arpeggio. Right, the arpeggio is a kind of musical term? God, all I can think of, though, is, Sly 2 for the PlayStation 2. There was a character in that named Arpeggio. He was a parrot. A bit underused, that character. I wish he had more screen time, but whatever. Right, his trial. Court is now in session. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is A-OK, Air Judge. Very well. Prosecutor Gavin? My opening statement, yeah? No, actually. There is something else I wanted to ask you about. Yes? Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them? I mean, you wouldn't say, get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down. What are you talking about? Actually, I'm going to visit someone who is terminally ill. What is this characterization for this mysterious judge? What? Right after this trial, the Chief Justice's son. Who's the Chief Justice? The Chief Justice? His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be the order of the day. Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending? She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for? In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement, briefly. I am mystified. Wasn't the last Chief Justice we knew of, wasn't that Damon Gant's role in Case 5 of the original game? Or wasn't he Chief Prosecutor? Yeah, Chief Justice would be different, wouldn't it? Like, the rule of Chekhov's guns tells me that this has to actually be important, or maybe it's just an excuse to add drama that Apollo doesn't have much time to work with and he needs to fight to keep it going and prove Machi's innocence? What the hell? This is weird. You're in luck, Air Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. First, to review the victim in this case, Romain Latouche, age 35. Really? That's a 35-year-old guy? But he has such a widow's peak. Actually, in a previous video I talked about how I got my grandfather's weak-ass knees. I also got his hair. Or lack thereof. Apparently he was completely bald by 29. I am 27. Going on 28 in just a few months. Yeah, I'm getting a widow's peak, a bit more subtle than that one, but it's there. I'm also graying. I have at least over 20 gray hairs on my head last I checked, and that's just what I can see by looking at myself in the mirror. There might be gray hairs on the back of my head too. But I will say though, I do look good with completely shaved head. I have a good skull shape for it. the global manager for Diva Songstress Lamiroir. The cause of death? Blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details. The court accepts this into evidence. Natusa's autopsy report be added to the court record. 45 caliber. That's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet. However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Oh, that's Clavier, sorry. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved. I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse considering. 2 shots were fired. One shot missed, then the other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall of the scene. Observe the diagram. That half wall is weird. You don't suppose someone fired through the wall, do you? No, I remember it. I remember the visuals of the holes in the wall. Those were entrance holes, definitely. The gun was fired from inside, for sure. This is where the bullets hit. I see. The court accepts this evidence. If we're talking about a .45 caliber revolver, we must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use. Really? Yeah, apparently weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body? No. The defense will take more care in choosing examples. As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. Wait, that's not Clavier's voice. This dressing room has only one entrance. This door. That does seem to be the case, yes. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course. But that's impossible. Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person. One person? That is, of course, the defendant, Machi Tobai. Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how? It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime scene make it clear. Very well, I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Let the witness please take the stand. Ah, it's Emma. Your name and profession, please. Emma's Skye. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow. Security at the concert, you say? Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder. Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know. That's terrifying. I'm sure that makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered. And we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please. All right. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room, filled with blaring rock music, and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. What? It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene. But that door was the only way out of the room, right? Yeah, pretty much. Then, I don't get it. How can they say that Machi did it? Only Machi was small enough to squeeze through the hole in the wall. That's it. Looks like we need a bit more information. Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination. The night of the murder, I was in security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? That's right. What was a detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Conspiracy? Well, isn't it obvious? My keys. That whole morning, no, the whole day was ruined. And it's all because someone stole my keys. I couldn't ride my hog to the show, I couldn't open my guitar case. There he goes again. Isn't it possible he simply misplaced them? Apollo, they were found clenched in the fist of the victim. Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't just wander into the murder victim's hand on their own. Yes, thank you. What's this? Prosecutor Gavin, if your keys were in the victim's hand, that makes you a prime suspect. Love, slow acting and new. Atroquinine is waiting for you. Atroquinine? The hell is that? He's seeing something. Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top? The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was like a sailor, adrift on a sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen. So I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task. I see. I can accept that. Well, I can't. What do you mean, most time on their hands? Please, the testimony. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. Oh, we were let in, though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. I gave the Fräulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Gee, great. Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. Who? So, no other outsiders were there then. And then, at the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos. Okay, if those aren't sausages, what the hell are they? Maybe pretzel sticks? Or dog food. Maybe it's dog food. Ah, hey, no snacking in court. And you're sure the shots came from Lamiroir's room? Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep you quiet. Katonk. Thanks. And so Apollo has his first object thrown at his face in court. Oh man, he really is following in Phoenix's footsteps. So, how about it, Emma? We were right. There, hard to be mistaken about that. Please either talk or eat, not both at the same time. Oh, right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. I went into the room, filled with blaring rock music, and found the body. Rock? Blaring, yes. When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days? That's right. When we went into the dressing room, music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. You don't suppose the music was used as some sort of cue to signal to the killer when to take the shots? Like, Darian went off beat for a moment. But that was at the end of the song, wasn't it? Oh. Well, it's something to consider. They pipe sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers. That way people in the back can hear what they're supposed to be on stage. Oh, when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the Caverners with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume. When we walked in the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime. If you could hear that music playing, then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi. Including myself. Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. How can you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen. We know there was only one exit from the room, that door. The small window only opened a tiny crack. And I was standing in front of that door. So, how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility. The air vent. Oh. Well, if the person was standing near the air vent for the quick escape, the bullets would be in the other wall. But that air vent was too small. Who could possibly... Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through. Nor me. The only one who could fit through was a child. A child? Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed. And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child. The defendant? The pixie of the arpeggio flitted up toward the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime. But that's just conjecture. Oh? There was no other way out of that room. You were there. You should know, Air Forehead. Well, maybe the person hid in the room. Maybe. And there is another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that it had recently been opened. Wait, what? And something else was found quite clearly. The defendant, Machi Tabayi's fingerprints. What? Oh. I sincerely struggle to think of innocent reasons why a child would climb up a ladder and fiddle with an air vent and put their fingerprints on it. Maybe they were disturbed by the loud noise and climbed the ladder to try and turn down the speaker, but they couldn't find the speaker and just touched the air vent instead? Oh my god, I found an innocent reason! Holy crap! Order, order, order! That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, Air Forehead? Well, wasn't it just established that a child that small couldn't possibly have handled the revolver? What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Irk! Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. And that one is our pixie. Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up on the audience. In the audience. So this was his decisive evidence. Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. I believe we've heard enough to determine our verdict, even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit. I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. It can't be over already. Very well, I believe this trial is finished. If the defense has no contradicting evidence. The prosecution has presented our proof, clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it'd be better be clear and plain. Capolo, they've got us on the ropes already. We better come up with something quick. I know. Think, what can get us out of this? We need evidence or a witness that can prove Machi is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that... Gulp. Retrieve from Lamiroir's dressing room. Yeah. I'm not sure. Mr. Justice, do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you'd better tell us about it now. This is it, and so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof? If we call a witness and say that Lamiroir was with Machi the entire time, because indeed, Act 2 was Lamiroir's turn on stage. For Act 3, she would be backstage. If we called a witness and said it was Lamiroir, would that be enough? But Lamiroir couldn't offer hard proof, could she? Wow, she's 40? Wow, that's surprisingly old. Huh. Machi is 14. Oh, not 13? Oh well. Emma Skye, 25. I don't... Okay, looking at everything I have, I could point out the revolver and say how impossible it is that Machi could have fired it. And honestly, are his prints even on it? We haven't even talked about fingerprints. On that, at least. Missing brooch, mixing board, the keys. I'm gonna have to call a witness and say it's Lamiroir. Prosecutor Gavin, you claim that there were no witnesses to this crime. Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely. I'd swear it on my career as a prosecutor. And on my... Oh! And on my million-seller hit song, Atrocanine, My Love. There he goes again. That's too bad, because there was a witness. Oh, really now? But how did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution clearly does not? Because I am the only one in the world who knows this. What's going on? I just talked to him and now... He's alive. Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Cold. So cold. Witness. You're cold? Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Help us on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is... Siren. What? The victim said this before he died? Perhaps he did. And perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is that Air Forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself. But it's the truth. He said it. I even told you about it. But apparently you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job. That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours unknown to the prosecution? I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty. Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for. Hark, there's no backing out now. Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice. Lamiroir. Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. You can see why I stopped using the voice commands. Lamiroir. Recall Mr. Letus's last words. The witness is Siren. The Siren? Ah, he meant the Siren. That's right, the Siren of the ballad, Lamiroir. Lamiroir was only on stage for the second set, and she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness. I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? My claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime. Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Emma Skye's cross-examination. Please show Lamiroir to the witness stand. Lamiroir would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is. Now, see, this is going to be pretty cool. It is my distinct honor to welcome the Siren of the Ballad to our courtroom. You are too kind. Ah, you can speak English. Yes. Yes, I can. Though I am not very good. There is much I do not know. Leaving room for plausible deniability. You speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it. What does she mean she doesn't know? I, too, thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. Oh, what's that? Lamiroir suffers from amnesia. Okay, that's fine. Amnesia? Lamiroir is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. Wow, she's even more mysterious than I thought. As lauded singer Lamiroir, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her, thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lamiroir. Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened. Lamiroir, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Oh my! Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy. Ugh. Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime. What I saw. This should be good. As for what I saw nothing. Well, I said that this is gonna be good. That's because, look at her. Her body is covered in a shawl, and her face obscured by a veil. This is a hard counter to Apollo's bracelet. Most of her body is obscured. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Anywho, I do have to wonder about the murder itself. Was the revolver that was found on the scene, was that Latouse's own revolver, or was it someone else's? He was a security guard. I would imagine he would have a pistol. Or a revolver. He does strike me as a revolver kind of guy. From what direction was the gun fired? Where was the killer standing at the time? Like, my best theory is that the killer poked his hand, his arm, through the hole in the wall and fired the gun that way. But I just don't know for sure. Yeah, alright, it's clear to see. I feel it. The previous case, what with Eldoon's noodle cart and the Kitakis, that one gave you a lot of information up front. This case, though, the kid gloves have come off. This is more traditional Ace Attorney stuff. I am going to have to fight tooth and nail to prove things. Especially with the judge rushing to get out the door. But that'll be next time. For now, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.